Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. Okay, life is good. I hope everyone is doing okay, especially if you live in the path of Hurricane Helene. A lot of people do. It's one of the two situations that are likely to cause a lot of hardship. So I want to try to make some fried breads in a little bit different way, but what I want to do is use my biscuit mix because I have stockpiled a lot and this stuff is getting expensive. This is Walmart, but this one was $4.18, but this one was $1.99. Both are 2 pounds. So let's see what happens. So if you make this with, here it is, see I have a very soft dough. If you make this with a biscuit mix, add the flour little by little because I didn't use a whole cup of water like I usually do. Okay, so I'm just kneading it a little bit. Okay, so life is good. This dough turned out really nice, I'll tell you that. What's valuable about this is you're always going to have some kind of bread. And this is really good because you can fry this with oil. So let's make it into a manageable piece so I can I'm going to go like a half and half. Okay, so I've been wanting to do this. Okay, so half is going to be the regular way I usually make the fry breads. You can make them as big or as small as you want. So I'm going to make them kind of small this time so that they, usually I make them like little flying saucers. So here they are. See, it's like a little boat. And then the other ones, I want to fry them like a tortilla. And the thing about these is there's nothing in them except for biscuit mix, baking powder. I did the recipe the exact same way, except I used, they look like they're turning out really good. I didn't even use whey or milk. I used water, flour, salt, and baking powder. And on this one, I'm going to roll these out like a tortilla. These are more than big enough. You know, it just depends. You can make them bigger if you want. These are so easy to make. So, wheat is going to get expensive. All right. I guarantee you wheat is going to get expensive. So we want to stock up 5 pounds of flour is almost over $4 now. They might put it on sale though around Christmas. We have to wait and see on that. Uh-oh, they're ready to go. When they're small, they go fast. A little bit longer. They're like a pancake. You want to get them done. So what's good about this is if you wanted to make like an open-faced sandwich, I like to eat fried breads with soup. Like the canned soup I had. Today I was on the search for extreme markdowns. Like the soup that was 42 cents. And I went to Ralph's. I didn't find any, but I did come up with this. Oops. You gotta have enough flour. I mean, yeah. I'm using flour rather than biscuit mix to roll them out. I think it comes out better if you pat them first. I think I'm finding that out. So you could put some meat in these, or you could put an egg or some beans, whatever you want to make on these. So let's get on to, what are the two things? Okay, we have two things that are likely to cause trouble. Number one, we have the dock workers strike. It is in the East and the Gulf Coast. It involves 25,000 jobs. And that means the food won't get taken off of the cargo ships. Like what kind of food? So this is what we kind of want to know, like bananas, cherries, chocolate. So far you might be thinking that is not a big deal. Meat, fish, and cheese. That is a big deal. So that's why we want to buy some cheese marked down. Okay, fry breads are done. That was quick. Ooh, these look good. So if you have tea and you have fry breads, you can get by. Okay, now let's do the flatbreads. Okay, so this is my regular recipe made out of biscuit mix. They look like they're turning out really good. So this Gulf strike is a looming problem. They're striking because they're demanding higher wages. Strongly possible that they can see the handwriting on the wall. Like what? Like the AI taking over some jobs. Like that is the reason that the fast food workers got a little bit more money. So there's less workers. They have the customers like self-serve gas doing everything. And they're charging a lot more to pay for their computer systems. And so that means possibly, now you have to be careful with these or they'll break apart if you try to mess with them before they're ready to turn. These are coming out good though. Oh no. You have to make sure you have enough flour. My dough is really, really soft. Maybe, you know, after you make these a few times, you're probably going to learn. Okay. Let me move these onto a plate. So if you refrigerate these, they're going to taste really good. Okay, so we have the dock worker strike. I think that's coming maybe next month, affecting 25,000 jobs. Okay, now we have Hurricane Helene causing all kinds of trouble. In Florida was hit big time. North Carolina, on the west of North Carolina, because it came up from the Gulf of Mexico, South Carolina, Georgia, Virginia, Tennessee, Illinois, and Kentucky. So it was hitting pretty much everywhere it possibly could hit. Okay, these are really soft. I don't know if this has to do with the fact that I was using the biscuit mix. So the bad thing about Hurricane Helene that hit Florida, hard. Millions of people have no power, and 60 people were killed, and possibly a bigger storm is coming, possibly. Okay, so that is not good. Uh-oh. So I think my dough is done. It's just really, really soft. Okay. All right, so we have this big hurricane and it's causing a lot of floods. And so what we want to do is we want to stockpile food. So you might be thinking, if your house is going to be destroyed by water, by wind, by fire, why bother? Well, maybe you can get out with some of it. Okay, so now yesterday I mentioned 3 items to stockpile: canned beans, rice, and peanut butter. So you might be thinking, why did you even say that? And the reason I said it is because I asked the AI, what are the 3 most important foods to stockpile? Canned beans, rice, and peanut butter. So today I decided to stockpile. One of the important things I think to stockpile would be is top ramen. So they say when there's no top ramen, that's how you know things are bad. Number 2 thing I found was the pancake mix that I'll be using, just like flour. You can always make pancakes too. Just add water. And so I found a good price for 2 pounds. And then the 3rd thing is the coffee creamer. Okay, there's a reason. Okay, and you need to inspect the containers carefully, because the big ones were $8.99, but these 2, let's see, it's 312 servings each, so 624. As opposed to the big one that was $8.99. So that one was, so you can add 1 teaspoon, and then you're going to have milk. My stuff is cooling. Okay, now this is powdered milk. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get through prolonged. Okay, this is the rock bottom powdered milk, and it is 80 servings, and this is $20. So if you're using it in cooking, or you plan on storing it for a prolonged period of time, you want to go and, you know, I've been making stuff out of it for the past couple of days. This one's messed up. That's okay. I will eat it tomorrow when these are hard to handle. This is you might want to make your dough. I like a soft dough, but it's hard to handle. So, all right. Mainly to make sure you have, it's hot. Okay, so coffee creamer, so you can make milk. So if you stockpile oatmeal, you're always going to have milk. You can put a little bit in your coffee to give you a little extra fat. It's not cow's milk, much likely. And then top ramen. So with top ramen, you can add 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of water. You just stir it up and pour it on your top ramen after it's done and it's boiling. And then you can put it on top of, you take 3 tablespoons rice and you cook that, and you can put your top ramen. And then you can add 1 tablespoon of coffee creamer to make it like the creamy soups, or butter or cheese. And then if you have hot dogs, bacon bits, or cooked sausage, you can make a sausage sandwich. Today I was eating my leftover sandwich. That was really, really good. Now all of this was made out of 1 cup of baking mix. These are kind of like pancakes, but the good thing about these, and you could put syrup on them if you want to. Okay, so now I made something, and it was tuna and rice, but afterwards and I showed you my $15 haul. It was The bag of pasta for 79 cents was really good, but they're all gone. A large can of baked beans, that's what I made tonight. And what I've been doing, where did I put the large can of baked beans? What I've been doing is I eat the rest for lunch the next day. Here it is. A large can of tomatoes. So now 90% of this stuff is in the stockpile, just sitting there waiting for me to eat it if something was to happen. And who knows, you know. Most likely, if something's happened, if possible, a bottle of coffee creamer I bought for $1.49. I've made 9 cups of milk out of that so far. And a package of cheese. But I brought this, what did I do with it? I got one of those 3 packs of Velveeta cheese out, and those are 12 ounces. So that's as much as the sliced cheese. I don't remember how much I paid for it. That one got a little bit burned. That's okay, I'll eat it. Okay, so now that was the first part. That was grocery outlet. Then at Walmart, I got a box of mashed potatoes, a package of bologna, a package of hot dogs, and 2 cans of chili. And you guys made all kinds of things out of this. And so the takeaway on this, make sure you stock up on carbs. Here's the baked beans. How much did I pay for these? $1.49. So I will freeze the other half and I will make something out of that next week. So let me drain these. This one turned out good. They're nice and flaky. Owie. Okay, so I have a lot of bread. They say 1 pound of flour is 4 cups. Oh, so these 2 pounds of biscuit mix are 8 cups. So I hope I don't knock my tripod over again. So I could make twice as much fry bread, or maybe regular bread tomorrow, we'll see. And so what I do is this thing still going? Oh, I'm so happy. I'm getting my AI phone. Okay, so the 3 things are coffee creamer, pancake mix. Imagine this is 312, 624 servings for $8. So, okay, so that is the 2 things. The hurricane, and be prepared for, I'm sure everybody who lives there is going, oh, not this again. I think so then I came up with tuna on toast. Melt 1 or 2 tablespoons butter, sprinkle with a little flour, and stir it around to get the raw taste out of the flour. Then just add your coffee creamer. This is the one I bought that was so good. $1.49. But it's not as good of a deal as this dry one. This is a pound. Add the milk little by little and make a light gravy, and then add your tuna. You can put that on the rice. I added the egg. If you want, you can add the egg like the top ramen to create like an egg drop soup to go with your tuna. That was really good. It might not have sounded good, but it was actually, here it is. I had 3 meals out of this. This was tuna and cooked rice and cheese. So the cheese is really, really going to stretch your budget. All right, now let's try it. Eventually, I might actually prefer these round breads. it would be the difference between this and this. So I used my biscuit mix, just like the flour. I added a half a tablespoon of baking powder, a quarter tablespoon salt. I mixed those all together. And then I had the water hot, and I added just enough to make a very soft dough. I put that in and I stirred that around. And then I put it in a bowl with some oil, and I let it sit there between 20 and 30 minutes covered, and then I fried it. You saw me do that. Okay, so now what? Well, once you find something successful, you know what was really good? I thought, why not add these small amounts of meat to my carbs, just because they're more nutritious. So here it is. Let me see if I can get this. So I came home from the gym, and it was hot dogs that I bought for $1. So you can see how much it was. These I bought them at Walmart, these $1.24 hot dogs. And then I put barbecue sauce. I had a little bit left. This wasn't it, but barbecue sauce on the hot dogs. And then the last time I put potatoes. This time I put baked beans, and then I had the 16 pieces of cheese. Oh no, that was it was these. It was 16, and you saw the stuff. I have 6 pieces left. I will be buying some big bags of cheese. Oh no, that is not. This is one of the coffee creamers that I bought, and then I froze it so that I would never run out of milk. This way, you're always going to have like 2 cups of milk. This is not a good system. This is supposed to be eating the freezer down, not jamming more and more stuff in. But that is what's happening. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I'll keep the coffee creamer out. I'll drink it. Remember when I bought the Remember when I bought the $5 chickens? I still have chicken pieces in here that I could make something out of. My daughter-in-law said, "Do you want me to buy you another freezer?" And I said, no, thank you. Please don't. You know what would happen? I would jam it full of food, and it would be just like this one. Okay, you didn't see that. Okay, so this is hot dogs. I wanted to show you guys the hot dogs. Baked hot dogs, barbecue sauce, baked beans. But on this baked bean recipe, you put a little bit of relish. And I had dill relish on top. And then I put 2 pieces of cheese. And so this is what has happened. Here it is. And then, these are really soft and flaky, I'll tell you that. This is something about, as when you use regular flour, that's not this flaky, but it tastes good flaky. I took out 2 pieces of chicken, not knowing I was going to do this. And I just put I rinsed the chicken good. I dried it, and I put a little oil, and then I dusted this, and I bought this for 21 cents. that was my idea. Here's the chicken I have left from when I bought the $5 chickens. I'm gonna make something out of that. I don't know what. I'll think of something, maybe a quiche. So I'll put the baked beans in a little bowl. Okay, so I think these baked beans, so I'm following the same pattern of like the rice and the tuna, or the potatoes and the hot dogs, or the baked beans and the hot dogs. And I also have bologna. So I could have made some bologna sandwiches, fried bologna sandwiches. So what I do is I just eat a little bowl, and then if I feel like it, I eat another one. So today I bought some salad, marked down for $2.43. This is Little Gems. These are organic salad. So they're sealed up good, I'll tell you that. So the point is once you start figuring some of this stuff out, you're not going to be, there's cabbage, there's lettuce. I don't like eating that much salad, but you know, you need a little bit. And then I had some salad dressing, so tonight's the night. So, okay, so now also, you know, since this made so many fry breads, they're really good frozen. If you can fit them in your freezer. Oh, I can fit them. Okay, so here's my little salad. And if I don't get around to eating it tonight, I'll just eat it tomorrow after the gym. All right, so, okay, so that's why we want to stockpile food, because if the food is not taken off of the cargo ships and loaded so that they can disperse it, then, you know, that probably won't, but just to make sure. That is really good with that tiny bit of relish and the barbecue sauce. So let me give you a shot of the super cheap meals I have made that you guys probably saw if you've been watching me for the last 4 days. Now I want to talk about the stockpile. Okay, two coffee creamers for $3.99 each. That was $8. One pancake mix. You can make fried chicken. Just, you know, lightly dust your chicken with the baking mix and fry it. Or you can mix it up by adding water, if it's water only, and fry zucchinis in it. Then the yogurts are on sale. So I ate all my my cottage cheese, so I want to eat all my yogurt, but that won't take long. And then I got the salad for $2.43, so that was $13.29. So that kind of gives me enough, more than enough food for a while. But I will still stockpile. This is an old recipe. If you guys have been following me for 12 years, you probably have this recipe already. It's an oldie. The old time recipes don't have a lot of ingredients, but this is really good, and it will taste good tomorrow after the gym. Okay, so think about the coffee creamer. I think this is frozen coffee creamer. Okay, you could eat it on your oatmeal, just dilute it with water. You can make gravy or you can make macaroni and cheese. Okay, so now think about this. Now think about what's happening. Okay, we see all this stuff happening, like what? Well, we had the fires in Hawaii, that's the southwest of the U.S. Hurricane Helene, that's the southeast. In the Atlantic Ocean, Hawaii's in the Pacific Ocean. We have 2 wars, we had pandemics, we had inflation, we had 2 assassination attempts, and there's been only one other president, and it was Gerald Ford. Somebody tried to assassinate him twice. So now, think about this. Okay, think about all these problems. Will these problems end soon? Will these problems end in a long time? Or will there be endless fighting and endless war with small periods of rest? Or will these problems never end? Because if you kind of have an idea, then you're not going to be hit so hard. Okay, so now we're going to go into that in a minute, but the solution is live in a way where you're constantly prepared. Okay, Revelation 6:1-8, birth pains that Jesus said will get closer together in frequency and severity until Christ returns. Okay, now, the birth pains can be thought of as prolonged discomfort, and this is a good point. Helpless, cyclical, and it runs its course. So we're going to be rather helpless. These events are they're gonna be like in an endless cycle, and then it's gonna run its course. So what are we looking for? You know, as not to be a pessimist. That's why I put this at the end, because people get upset. All right, I want to mention terror events. There's 2 kinds. One, TERRIOR events. Those are environmental effects. That comes from the French word, and it characterizes character of crops. So stuff happens in the plants or the crops, and that is bad. Okay, now the other kind of terror is a state of tense alarm or overwhelming fear. Can be thought of as alarm, dread, fear, fright, and panic. So this TERRIOR, the French word, it is to do with the soil and the land, which would be terrorizing because that's going to affect the crops. Okay, so we're going to be in a cyclical cycle. It's just going to cycle. Okay, now what are we supposed to look for? Wickedness, war, and turmoil, conquest, war, famine, and death, disease. Now these are very important. Intense heat, drought, and deadly hailstorms, and I would say floods. In Revelation, we can expect 1/3 of the living creatures in the sea and 1/3 of the ships or vessels. So what can we do? Try to survive. This is one of the things I like about Scientology. It's very concerned with the survival dynamic. So you're trying to survive as long as you can. So we're thinking about the future when all the mentioned things could be happening, probably the worst being these climate things, and they're not going to stop. Okay, so we need water and we need food sufficient until we can grow more. So we need food, we need seeds out of our food, we need seeds to plant. Okay, and then think about people from a long, long time ago. When the times were really bad, they migrated. They didn't just sit there and get themselves killed. So we call it evacuation, but migration is a little bit different. You have to be willing I heard a prophecy that all these countries are going to stop taking these immigrants, and none of the countries are going to take Americans. So now, okay, like if really bad stuff happens, you have to have money, or else you just have to take off and hope God will, preserve you. Hopefully, what I'm seeing in this hurricane is some of the people have, they have vehicles that are going to help them survive this. But if we have a water wall 2 stories high, you have got to, like in the Hawaii fire, you want to be the first one out because you get stuck in traffic. So we have to be prepared, maybe a vehicle that you could stay in, knowing all the ways out. Living inland in particular is safer generally, except for here because we have the big fires. And then, job loss, no money, things like that. If you have food, it's going to help so much. Okay, you guys, I will see you tomorrow. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And God bless you all. Bye, you guys.